Hey friends, today we're going to talk about leadership in 2021. And I feel like with a lot of my clients or even in the different groups that I am coaching, I keep having to say, this isn't 2019 anymore. Um, a lot of leaders are asking questions like, what training do I run? How do I get my teams to move into action? um, what should I delegate? When should I delegate? How do I motivate them? And of course, there are strategies and words to address those challenges for your team right now to be more effective, more profitable, etc. I'm just not sure it's the right move right now. It's April 2021 as you're watching this video, not April 2019. And unfortunately, in a lot of ways, we're still leading people through a crisis. And while maybe our own personal lives may not be in crisis, the general state of the world is still, it's still sort of rough. Even the highest of performers, including myself, are bouncing in and out of bouts of depressed state, high anxiety. Most people are hyper vigilant, even to things that are not actually harmful, like posting something on social media about, with your face in it. And so in 2018 and 2019, I did a lot of training with leaders on speaking events and programs and a lot of those things. And I do think those still have their place from a stability perspective. But in this video, I'm going to share with you what I think right now is the most important way to lead. When it comes to leaders, people want trust, compassion, stability, and hope. They're not so concerned with the fact that you know everything all the time or that you're perfect. In fact, there's this great quote by Angela Lim that says, I saw that you were perfect and I loved you. I saw that you were not perfect and I love you more. That's one that always got to me because I really always like to feel like I know all the things, or yeah, I mean, pretty much that, right? I know all the things and I always show up. But, imperfect, I think, is okay. I don't think anyone is expecting anyone to be imperfect. In fact, it normalizes when we're not perfect, but there are some things that we really need to like do a gut check on if we want to be a great leader. And it's not exactly what you think it is. So I'm going to give you some principles that have helped me. Our coaching business has grown during all of this, and it's not because of what you think. It's because of these particular principles, and implementing them and showing up, I think, as much as possible in a time where a lot of leaders in the training industry are hot and cold, off and on, right? We've been here every day. And except for the days like I'm off, or the days that my blood pressure has been really, really hard. And I'm going to talk about that as we go through these principles. So here we go. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now, leadership is not so much about teaching. And I know you're like, but you're teaching me, Tasha. Like, my role is different than your role. It's not so much about teaching. It's about doing, right? It's the doing of the things. So number one is commit to the long haul, right? Commit to staying standing in spring of 2022, no matter what that looks like. If you know you're going to be here in a year, your team will also know you're going to be here in a year. Many network marketers, many business owners are going to be like, it's too hard, I'm going to pack it up. They see decreases, right? Maybe they'll see increases, but they might see some decreases and they're like, forget it, I'm out of here. All of the relationships that you build now, people remember how you treat them during hard times way more than how they treat you during good times. When I think about the people that I am the most loyal to, I don't remember the parties. The parties are important. The celebrations are important, of course. I remember those and I hold those with fondness. But if you were to ask me, why am I loyal to this person or that person? I think about one of my first directors as a leader in my corporate job, and things were rough. We had a brand new team. I took it over. I was a brand new leader. And the way she stuck with me through the hard time makes me, no matter for any of her faults, makes me fiercely devoted to her and a defender of her to this day. And we remember how people treat us during hard times, and things are going to get better. This is not permanent. This isn't how things are going to be forever, even though it feels like that. And as hope starts to emerge, you're going to be the one left standing, and you're going to be the one that's going to be able to harvest all of those seeds you are planting. So commit to being here in a year. Don't ask yourself every day, every month, are you going to keep doing this? That's going to help a lot with your leadership because you'll be grounded. Number 2, be present in a consistent way. Present and consistent. Now, does consistent mean every single day? Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to say that option A, the best way, would be to, yes, post on your social media daily. Whatever you commit to it. So for me, I've committed to publishing videos 4 days a week. And I can manage that. Like, I don't want to do Fridays. I don't want to do Saturdays. I don't want to do Sundays. So I'm not doing 7 days a week. I'm not even doing 5 days a week, right? We have a specific publishing schedule that I think is reasonable, right? That I can do in this time with my coaching schedule and with some of the health stuff that I have going on. So I'm present and I'm consistent. And that is super helpful. But not all of my social media is like what I'm doing right now. It's not a full out written thing with all that and showered. Some of it's like, how's everyone doing today? Some of it's like, tell me the last time you met someone new. Let's encourage each other. What's a win you have in your business? That's still showing up. And right, it's still about being consistent. We can't as leaders go radio silent because that makes people feel uneasy, and there's enough things to feel uneasy about. So whatever consistency look like, I will say a social media posting schedule 5 days a week. If you're not sure what to post on, just let us know, and we'll give you some training on that. And we have a bunch of calendars and stuff that you can follow. But being present in a consistent way is more important than being the most right or the smartest right now. Number 3, role model. Stop coaching so much. Stop coaching and teaching, role model instead. One of my clients was really struggling with this idea that she needs to really rebuild her network online, but she has all these people that she's mentoring, and so she's in a time management catch-22. So she's trying to teach her people how to do online networking. It's taking a long time, not so much results because it's hard to make that transition. She's also having a hard time making her own transition, and so she's in this time management catch-22. And so what I recommended her to do is to actually make some fundamental temporary shifts in the way she led her team, centered around role modeling instead of coaching, and then everyone wins. So here's what I told her to do. I said, take the next 6 weeks and tell your team, we all need to focus on networking right now. I need to as well. And us talking isn't networking. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus, a couple hours a day, or these are my goals. And what I'm going to do is I am going to share all of that with you for the next 6 weeks. So I'm going to tell you what I did, how it went, what worked, what didn't work, right? Like through social media, through a message or whatever. And then that way you guys can pick up the lessons that I'm learning, and that can operate as your mentoring and coaching instead of us just talking about it. The other thing I advised is to every other week have a group call with those people and go over, okay, what are your wins when it comes to networking? What are your challenges? What do you need help with? And so that operates for an accountability function. And so there's a learning piece, but it's not like, here's what I want you to do. It's here's what I'm doing. I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom. Whatever you think is helpful, I want you to do it as well. Role modeling right now is really, really critical. A lot of people are pretty frustrated about, you know, leaders who are like, here's what I used to do and it was really successful. And while that still might be the case, it's almost like there's this gap in credibility if someone's not doing it right now. It's much more powerful to say, yesterday I met this person online through this method. I said this, I did this, and today they enrolled, than to say, 3 years ago, this is what I did to build my network, right? So role model versus coaching. Let me see the rest of my notes here. In my notes here, I wrote include, include, include. But I'm just going to write it once here, so I don't have to keep my back turned the whole time. People are feeling isolated, so include as many people as possible in things you're doing. This also links up to role modeling. What about like including people on your team? Like, hey, I'm going to do some outreach right now. Would you like to join me? I'm going to do a training on how to stay motivated. Would you like to come? I am running an online event on how people can get better sleep. Would you like to attend, or would you like to invite people? Include people in as many things as you're doing, whether it's social or business. I think that this is something that's really tricky. And from a leadership, like, you know, we're talking about leadership. We're not talking about, oh, but I'm an introvert, right? We're talking about how to be a leader. And if we want to be leaders, we have to include, not exclude. And so, like, even just a really simple example, I told the kids for spring break, I'd take them horseback riding. And so I just sat there and I thought, well, who else would want to go horseback riding with me? So I messaged one of our friends and I said, we're going horseback riding on Monday. Would you like to come? Right? And we want to include. When we do that, we consistently are building leadership credibility. Now, this particular friend is not someone I'm going to end up coaching or anything like that. Not in some way business, but it's still like helpful from a leadership perspective to always think, how can I include more people in the things that I'm doing, as opposed to doing everything alone. You have to be willing to do everything alone, but also like take a step and include people. That's what people are looking for from a leadership perspective right now. So just a quick recap: commit to the long haul, be present and consistent, role model more than teaching what you used to do, and include people. And if you see that and you're like, oh my gosh, now I'm like freaking out, I kind of wrote a fifth note. Just put an asterisk of do your best. And I put the best in quotes because this, I don't like, I when someone says do your best, I like take what's the best I've ever done and I use that as a bar and I get mental. But what I mean is like do your best for today, right? Like for me, this stressful time not been great for me. And so there are some days where I can't, like I don't have it and I need to take additional rest. And that day, the best thing I can do is honor my health so that the next day I can record 4 videos in a row. And I think that this isn't about giving yourself a break. This isn't about, like, we know when we're doing our best or not. We know when we're depleted. Like, we need to be honest with ourselves about what are we capable of and what are we not capable of. If I am not capable of taking more one-on-one clients, I'm not capable. I need to be honest about that with myself, right? If I am capable of recording 4 videos today, even though I don't really feel like it, I need to do what I am capable of. I think that's really important as everybody is bouncing back and forth, you know, with physical and mental wellness. Like, what am I capable of? And do that thing. There's no need to war against yourself, there's enough problems in the world right now. We don't need to war against ourselves. We don't, I'm just like, the amount of negative self-talk that I am hearing from clients, like, I'm not measuring up, I'm not good enough, like, that is unnecessary. Like, that's not helping anyone to earn more income, help more people, et cetera, et cetera. We need to stop worrying against ourselves. We need to stop discouraging ourselves, and we just need to be honest. What am I capable of? What am I not capable of? Do the things you're capable of. Don't do the things you're not capable of. And I think that's helpful. And if you bounce in and out of being like awesome and epic and not so much, also I think that's okay. So I hope this is helpful for you to reframe the way you look at leadership, have conversations with some of the people that you're leading, have a conversation with yourself. Role modeling is the #1 role of a network marketing leader, even more important right now. And I hope this was helpful for you, and have an awesome day.